Meanwhile, some of the world's strongest economies were not so lucky following Trump's sweeping reciprocal tariffs. Numerous global trading partners have spoken out, calling the White House's move a major blow to the world economy. Trump's vaunted tariff list yesterday indicated that much of the world would receive a 10% baseline tax, while others like China and the European Union are hit with much higher rates. Jason Gaidola joins us live with more reaction tonight. Jason?
That's right, Vanessa. China was at the top of the list, where it will see a combined tariff rate of 54%, while Trump's automatic 10% levy went to everyone else, including one of the most remote places in the world.
So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset?
Flaunting his own formulated poster-sized list of countries he intends to tax, U.S. President Donald Trump laid out his global trade war strategy yesterday.
At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart? And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating.
Trump's 10% baseline reciprocal tax to the rest of the world is to prevent shipping stopovers, which even includes the obscurely remote Australian territory Heard Island and McDonald Islands, home to a penguin collective and no people. Among the so-called offenders deemed by the White House, China was at the top of the list, hit with a 34% reciprocal tariffs, on top of the 20% previously imposed. Japan was struck with a 24% levy, while the European Union endures a 20% hit, sparking what is being deemed a major blow to the world economy.
We have always been ready to negotiate with the United States. At the same time, we are prepared to respond. We are already finalizing the first package of countermeasures in response to tariffs on steel.
And there is a certain belligerence on the part of the European Union against what President Trump is doing. So I'm not sure there is that much room for maneuver at the end of the day. And I think what we'll probably see is alignment more with the likes of Canada than with the United States.
Despite the international stance that tariffs will hurt the U.S. more than anyone else, industries in Europe are bracing themselves for a downturn. Whether it being auto parts and pharmaceuticals in Germany, the alcohol business in France, or cheese production in Greece, the pinch is being felt everywhere, especially in the market of luxury items like watches.
Price of gold has gone wild, all the gold watches going up already, and if you tell everybody, okay, we've increased the prices this year 7% and now plus 31% in the US, it's just going to put the market into complete, either freeze totally, just kind of what do we do, or free fall.
Meanwhile, struggling businesses also mean job insecurity. Clothing manufacturers in Asia are expressing concerns, and in many African nations facing stiff levies, they aim to seek new frontiers for industries like minerals and agriculture.
The most important thing for African countries is to sit down and try to understand as to where the bottlenecks, how do they then promote trade amongst each other, how do they also search for common markets outside of the African context. And as I've indicated, the Middle East is coming up as one of the key partners, because in terms of agriculture, they're not doing that well.
One country deemed to be mostly spared from the trade war, the United Kingdom, which was slapped with just the 10% baseline on most goods.
Of course, we've got decades worth of a special relationship with the United States. And I think it's by focusing on those features that we can take the necessary steps to secure our economy through hopefully a deal with options on the table.
We've got 4 commissioners talking to their American counterparts, and they've indicated they're happy to get on a plane and fly to Washington as soon as it's ready to sign. So there is kind of this British, not so much relief, but a sort of acceptance that we haven't been hit as hard as we might possibly could have.
The World Trade Organization, which normally oversees most of the world's trade, is forecasting a possible 1% contraction in global merchandising trade volumes this year, a decrease in the hundreds of billions of dollars.